Closed bigger tickets this last month, and today we're going to talk about how I can bring in more cash on day one. Hey guys, welcome back to the Magness Moguls Podcast. I'm Jonah Magness. I own and operate martial arts studios, and I'm here to talk about some of the things that I've done in my business and help some of my friends with. Today, we're going to talk about why we should be price anchoring higher, why we need to start at a higher number when we go into the sales process, and how that will help us bring in more money on day one. The reason we want to bring in more cash upfront on day one is because then we'll be able to invest back into the business, invest into our team, and level up everything we have going on. And if all of those things start happening with more cash upfront, then we're going to be able to increase the lifetime value of our customers, and that is definitely the ultimate end goal. Now, how I did this was just by starting at a higher number, which seems really simple, but we'll talk about why specifically I chose my number, how I decided to choose my number, and what parameters we have to make sure that we're answering when it comes to starting at a higher price anchor to add that shock value to the conversation. The starting number that I ended up choosing was a $5,000 package, and being able to start there really gave me a lot more playroom when it came to adding in the discount and the downsell and everything like that. And it definitely just seemed too obvious because every negotiation book I've ever read was just start higher, start higher, start higher than you want to. And now I'm able to go back and apply that to my sales process. And that now seems very obvious to me, but it took me way too long to realize that when I was negotiating back and forth for different things, it's the same process of starting at a higher number. And when you start higher, you have more room to play with, and you usually end up in a better place for yourself and for the customer ultimately, because they get to save money and you'll have more cash up front to be able to give them the best experience possible. With that higher price anchor, I'm now actually able to close sales at where my original price anchor was, at a higher number than it actually, which is awesome. Being able to go through that downsell process is super important because it helps the customer feel like they're having a say in this conversation. Letting that dance happen, letting that conversation happen to where you're not selling across the table, but you're coming over next to them and being able to have a conversation of how you guys will be able to work out the best solution for them to help them achieve their goals. And having that shock value number lets them know, dang, this program has to be worth it. And that's going to get to the next thing. Giving them that much more value is going to be super important in the end, because once you're just giving in excess of value, their experience will just create the best customer possible that'll just refer us new customers. And when we're getting referred new customers, then our customer acquisition is the easiest process ever, because anybody that's being referred in knows that their friend wouldn't send them somewhere they wouldn't want to be. And all that just came from me being able to set up a pricing system and a program and an offering that started at a higher number than what I was currently offering. And for me, that meant doubling my price, which was a really good thing to be able to do and start with first of all. But like I said earlier, now I'm actually closing most of my sales at higher than my original price anchor, which allows for a lot of benefits when it comes to, I've already seen in this past month, my staff is improving their quality because they're having a better experience at work, because I'm not having to be so on top of them with nitpicking little things of how to get cash off the floor, how to upsell, how to downsell, how to upgrade, how to promote X, Y, and Z event. Now it's a lot more about them being able to focus on what they're doing. And all of that passion is coming through in the process, and it's a lot less stressful of an environment for them. And if my team's much less stressed, then the customer's going to be having a better experience, like I said at the top of the video, of being able to add to their lifetime value of having that positive experience, because my team's loving life. And if your team's killing it, then you'll be able to keep that customer even longer, and so it's an even better situation for them, even with paying that higher upfront walk in the door rate. And this all just happened this month. Being able to jump my price anchor up and downsell from there, or even getting the people who have said yes to that upfront offer, has been fantastic. I'm super excited to see how much more my team keeps on growing, how much more successful they're going to keep on being. If you have any questions, send me a message. I'd love to help you guys out. Once you set that price point and you can answer the question positively that your current price anchor is still having an excess of value being provided to the customer, then you will definitely be able to sell the dream and collect more cash up front. And that's the ultimate goal to having a much more successful business and being able to get your customers in the door for much, much cheaper. Then we get to use that money to invest back into the business and the team, and that's going to make the entire experience for yourself as an owner and your customers. And then we're going to be able to use that money to invest back into the business and back into our teams and be able to create a positive environment for the people that work for us as well as our customers. Send this to someone who wants more cash in their business. Check out the rest of the podcast in my playlist, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.